Go-To is your go-to. Confronting lung cancer starts here. Visit goto.org today.
You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls.
The views and opinions expressed on WBVP and WMBA are those of the participants and host. They are not necessarily the viewpoint of WBVP and WMBA, its staff, management, and advertisers. Thank you for listening to WBVP and WMBA.
It's now time for One Man's Opinion on Sports with Bryan Pasquale. The phone lines are open at 724-843-1888 and 724-774-1888. You can also watch live on the WBVP-WMBA Facebook page. Here is your host, Bryan Pasquale.
Welcome back to One Man's Opinion on Sports with me, Bryan Pasquale. I'm here at the St. Barnabas Studios. Joining me today is my producer, Ryan Garazunas. You can check him out alongside co-host Mike Mueller every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. till noon on YouTube. Search The Two Dumb Yinzers. That's D-U-M. The Two Dumb Yinzers. They talk Steelers, Pirates, Penguins, and much, much more. Also, make sure you check us out here on Beaver County Radio Facebook Live and Beaver County Radio YouTube. If you'd like to chime in today, we've got 2 hours of Steelers coverage, basically. Give us a call at 724-843-1888 or 724-774-1888. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, how you doing today, man? Glad
Terrible.
to be back.
I can't hear a darn thing.
You can't hear anything?
No. I've got the wrong adapter. Oh, there we go. Hold on. Let me turn this down. Turn it down. All right. I think I'm good.
You good?
Just don't breathe. For the rest of the show, don't breathe.
Give me, like every 30, every a minute or so, if you see me turn blue, just give me a second. I'll breathe and then.
So here's my question. Like, this studio is less than a year old. I've got like buttons missing over here. I've got an adapter missing over here. My microphone extender is going to fall. Like, can we get maintenance in here, Frank the Tank? I'm going to put out a request here for some maintenance to be done here at the studio. I've got buttons missing and things are not tight, and I don't know. That's my official request from
Hey, there it is.
Frank Sparks. Appreciate it. He's the best. He'll get it done. He'll take care of it. All right. Anyway, so the Steelers, do they have a bye week this week, or do they play somebody? I can't remember what happens, Ryan.
Nothing important. Just the Baltimore Ravens. This may be the biggest game of the year, Brian. It really may be. There's a lot that goes into this. And, once you've seen it before, once the Ravens get ahead of you, or anybody for that matter, it's tough to get back because then you have to keep winning and hope they lose. So, you win this game, you're setting yourself up pretty good. You have 4 Ohio teams left in the schedule. So this one here is a good place to start. Let's get this win and go from there.
Ohio did vote red, so I can't be like completely mad at them. We didn't have a show last week. I just needed a week off, and the Steelers didn't play the week before. I was like, what are we going to talk about? Let's just take a week off before the holidays and whatnot. But we did have an election, did we not?
Yeah, we did. We had an election.
Who won? Because I'm pretty sure there was a guy, One Man's Opinion, on Facebook who predicted 312 electoral votes for Donald Trump.
Is that what he ended up getting?
Yes, exactly. I told you guys all like days before this happened exactly how many electoral votes he'd get.
I stopped paying attention to the election months ago, but I take your word.
All right. Well, he got 312, and it wasn't even close, and he's going to be the president. And I feel like my daughter, for 3.5 years of his presidency, she will be in college, and I feel like I'll be able to afford groceries as well as pay for college.
Yeah.
Before he was elected, I was really concerned. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for everything if some rum-dum idiot is elected who was never voted in by anybody. They just selected her because they selected her like this is like 1984 USSR, prop somebody up without anybody voting for them.
Yeah. It's crazy. And you know what? It was funny because the Democrats were the ones who were constantly saying, let's do this democratically. Let's, keep the democratic way. Let's, and they were the one that were preaching that. But in fact, there was not one vote that went toward their candidate.
Okay, so my expertise in sports is second to none. Obviously, everybody that's been listening to the show knows this, but I'm even more educated in the political realm. Everybody on Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, you name it, kept saying it's the fight for democracy. Democracy, save democracy. Somebody's going to ruin democracy. The United States Constitution,
I think everybody knows this, though.
Never says that it's a democracy. Democracy is majority rules.
Right.
We are not a democracy. We are a constitutional republic, which means the minority is protected by the Constitution. So forget this whole democracy crap. Like when Ukraine's like, oh, we got to save the Europe for democracy. I'm like, democracy's terrible. It's almost as bad as Marxism.
Yeah,
this is a sports show, by the way, in case anybody's wondering.
I don't think they're really. People realize that. I remember.
They don't.
You said the Pledge of Allegiance 10,000 times into the republic for which it stands. People know. I think it's just got to the point where people are they just go with the flow. People say it's democratic, and that's what they're going to go with. I don't.
Here's my point, Ryan. Though. People are lied to over and over and over and over again. And they're told something so many times that they believe it's a reality. What's that called? I think I asked you that like last week in a text.
Yeah, I don't recall.
Yeah. So if you're told something over and over and over and over and over again, some people start to believe that it's reality. Such as number 90, TJ Watt of your Pittsburgh Steelers. He's Defensive Player of the Year. He disrupts everything. He gets double, triple teams. He's chipped. And then between TJ Watt, hold on, I'm looking up the numbers here, Ryan. I got to calculate this. Hold on. My calculator's adding up so much. TJ Watt and Alex Highsmith last game tallied, hold on, carry the one, 0.00 stats. Those two combined did absolutely nothing last game, and we still came away with a win versus the Commanders.
What this goes to show you is, the supermen don't have to be supermen every given play. We went out there, we won the football game, we got to their quarterback, we did enough to stop the highest scoring offense in the league. It just shows you that you don't have to be perfect all the time. There was a situation where Alex Highsmith certainly made a play. He twisted his ankle on the play. I don't recall what happened, if the guy threw it away or whatnot. But it wasn't like they weren't involved. They were certainly active. And as far as Watt,
they were on the field.
And as far as Watt goes, I think that there was two times in particular that the analysis did show you one where there was three guys that were blocking Watt. He takes the chip, comes off of that into a double coverage. I'm watching it right on my screen, and I said, this is exactly what Bryan's talking about. He says they don't do this. I'm watching them do this.
They did it once.
I've seen it two different times.
50-some plays, they did it twice then.
Well, the two that they pointed out, yes. Well, beyond that, I didn't pay much attention.
That's what they like to do on, and even the commentator, I don't know, was it Ian Eagle? Watt got a pressure finally late in the fourth quarter in the end zone. You remember, Daniels was in the back of the end zone and Watt got a pressure, right? And I'm like, oh. And even Ian Eagle says, well, when you don't hear from him all game, he's due. And I'm like, why can't you just say he stunk all game? Why do they have to give me this fluff, Ryan? Quit giving me the fluff. I know what I'm watching. I know a lazy, overrated, I wish they would have traded him guy that is a bad tipper. I don't know what else I could say about this guy. That every Steelers fan just turned their dial to something else.
He's a piece of the puzzle.
Again, he's a bad piece. He's that squiggly one.
You can't expect one piece that I thought that Joey Porter Jr. was worse off than TJ Watt. I thought that other people.
At least Porter was involved. TJ Watt's not even involved. Porter was holding. Here's my question, and I think I brought this up on your show on the Two Dumb Yinzers over on YouTube. Joey Porter Jr. Have you ever watched LeBron James or Luka Doncic or Caitlin Clark or any of the NBA or WNBA stars that complain after every whistle or non-whistle? Joey Porter Jr. held somebody for 10 yards. That was like 5 strides. And the refs threw the flag, which is, it's plain as day. And then he's complaining to the refs. Like, what are you complaining about, dude?
So when on the week that he punched 2 balls out, he recovered a fumble. He had
I thought we were talking
sacks.
about Joey Porter Jr.
And we're talking about TJ, obviously, the main point here.
Well, I was just talking about Joey Porter Jr.
Well, I actually brought up Joey Porter Jr. You made a point, and whatever. But my point is this. I obviously
skipped right over that.
I obviously, again, when he has great games.
He doesn't have great games. He had 2 great plays out of the whole game, and he stunk the rest of the game. I don't care what he did.
And they affected the game more than any other plays during the rest of the game.
Every other play,
why doesn't the receiver catch it and run for a touchdown every play? Why doesn't the running back run for a touchdown every play?
Why doesn't he try on run plays?
Because these people are professional. They're not. They're difficult to play against. And if you tried to get around a guy who was 300 pounds,
he doesn't try to get around him. He doesn't try to get around him.
You would look even worse off than he does. He knows what he's doing.
No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
If he does,
then we wouldn't lose by 42 points every freaking playoff time.
Well, I tell you what, he did nothing this game.
He's 0-4 in the playoffs.
He's a piece of the puzzle. He didn't do anything this time, and we won the football game. So again, you're really splitting hairs here because
He's stunk all year. He's made a couple plays here and there, and I'm so sick and tired of one bailout player here. You know who else made big plays? Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow made great plays at Denver, and guess what? He was out of the league the next year.
I don't care about Tim Tebow. Nobody cares about Tim Tebow. Listen, TJ Watt, if you take him out, you're listen, what are you going to add to?
If you take him out, what? We lose by less than 42? Because that's what happened.
If you take him out, 31 you put somebody
in the
else in there, you're not going to get the things that he does. You're not going to get balls punched out. You're not going to get fumbles recovered.
What do you mean? We lost to the Buffalo Bills last year in the playoffs by 14 points less than TJ Watt in the playoffs.
And guess what? We won games in the past with him.
Not in the playoffs. 0 in the playoffs. 0.
So all the playoff results come down to TJ Watt, is what you're saying.
Because he's overrated.
Incorrect. That's incorrect.
How?
Because if the offense can't score enough points, listen.
We gave up 42 points per game with TJ Watt in the playoffs.
So isn't the offense's job to score more 43 points than the other team?
The offense has to score 43.
So it's TJ Watt's responsibility that team scored 40 points. I don't think so.
Kansas City Chiefs defense last year gave up how many points in the postseason?
Who knows? Who cares?
It was not 42. I guarantee it was under 20, and that's why they won a Super Bowl.
You think if TJ Watt was on that defense, they would have given up 40 points? That's crazy. You're out of your mind by saying that.
I don't know if I said that, but they would give up more because he doesn't.
You're saying because of TJ Watt, we give up 40 points in the playoff games. That's incorrect. If he was on a different team.
Whoa. Is that what I said? Or did I say that when TJ Watt plays, they give up
40 points, which is the same exact thing that I just said. So if he was on another team.
No, you said something different.
No, I said when TJ Watt plays, they give up 40 points in a game.
42.
It doesn't matter. So
that's an extra 2 points.
It doesn't matter. So if you put him on another team that's doing well, are they also going to give up 42 points?
Yeah, because they can't stop the run.
They're not going to give up 42 points. It's going to show you.
How do you know? How do you know that?
How do you know that? The fact of the matter is
because I watch him play.
He's a piece of the puzzle. He's not the guy that gives up 42 points. He's a piece of the puzzle. If he goes to Kansas City, they're not going to give up 42 points with him in the lineup. They're not. That's ridiculous.
Well, you're just making something up there.
I'm not making something.
Your speculation. I'm not saying my speculation's correct.
I'm not going to politic with you. I'm talking X's, O's. I'm talking black and white.
No, you're not. You're saying if this happens, then that happens. No, you can't prove that. You can't prove that.
You can't prove that they give up 40 points because TJ Watt was in the lineup. That's what you can't prove.
I can prove that in the playoffs, the Steelers have given up 42 points per game with TJ Watt. That's all I'm saying.
I couldn't agree with you more.
And then without TJ Watt, they gave up 31. 31.
So he gave up.
So that's 11 less?
That's ridiculous.
Well, that's the facts. I'm giving you the facts. You're giving me a hypothetical.
No, because you were saying ultimately because he is in on that defense is why they gave up 40 points.
No. That's saying
exactly what you're saying.
He is the highest paid player.
I don't care about that.
I do.
I don't.
Why?
Because who cares? I want to know what he does on the field. And
he doesn't do anything.
What you were saying.
Hold on.
What you were saying.
Hold on.
What you were saying.
Tackles.
What you were saying.
0 tackles. 0 sacks. 0 effect on the game.
It wasn't in there. We wouldn't have given up 40 points because he's in there when the defense gives up 40. You're putting the blame on him.
I'm saying we give up 31 without him.
You're putting the blame on him.
Yes, 110%.
So if he wasn't in the defense, we wouldn't have given up 40 points, is what you're saying.
Correct. I'm saying we'd give up 31 because that's
so you just made us chase our
happened.
tail for 20 minutes saying the same exact thing.
What? No. What I'm saying is here's what happened. In the playoffs, we played 4 playoff games with TJ Watt on the roster. 3 times we've given up 42 points on average, and 1 time without him we gave up 31. I'm saying that he's completely overrated. He doesn't try against the run. He's completely overrated, and I'm so sick and tired of everybody saying how great he is because he makes 1 or 2 plays every other game. If you're the highest paid player
Look around
on
league.
the team.
Look around the league.
I'm looking.
You're
I'm watching
treating him like
Kansas
he's
City.
supposed to be Superman when linebackers around the league. What's the guy down in Dallas? Does he make the big play every single play? No, he doesn't. Does Myles Garrett, the defensive player of the year, does he make the big play every single play? No, he don't.
He's not defensive player of the year. They gave him that award just like they gave TJ Watt that award.
Well, the fact is, you're speculating because the fact is he is defensive player of the award, defensive player of the year.
Yeah, and I got a gold star for him too because I'm a kindergarten teacher, and that's what we do. We give out gold stars.
Did he win all those games for that defense last year? No, he's a piece of the puzzle, just as TJ is. And if they
TJ Watt's a bad piece.
And if he gives up a lot, if the Cleveland Browns give up a lot of points, which they did in the playoffs last year, was it all Myles Garrett's fault? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So when the offense of the other team runs the ball right at TJ Watt and he runs upfield 8 to 10 yards, that means nothing to you?
I'm not saying that it doesn't.
He takes himself out of the play and leaves the C and D gap open, and we give up 140 some rushing yards to like practice squad guys.
Absolutely not. I'm saying
that's what happens.
I'm saying that he's not the reason that we're giving up 40 points in the playoffs.
He is.
No, he's not
watch
at
the
all.
Film. How do you watch the film and not see that he did nothing all game?
I don't understand how you watch the film and see that he does nothing
what did
all
he
game.
do? Tell me what he did all game. He rushed the passer once.
If we talk about one particular game where he didn't do much, you're going to get your point proven.
Game.
Let's talk about games where he punched out 2 balls,
did his best game,
recovered a fumble, picked up. He punched out 2 balls.
And then what did he do every play other than that?
I think he had 2 sacks that game. I think he had 4 tackles.
All right, listen, we got to go to break.
No,
this is nonsense.
These are facts. Again,
it's not facts.
It is facts.
It's garbage.
If you go to a game
garbage.
that goes against what you're saying, of course you're going to be able to prove your point.
What do you mean? It's not against what I'm saying.
Because you're talking about this last game where he just had zeros across the board.
No, I'm talking about his entire career.
And I agree with 100%.
Outside of 2 plays every other game, he does nothing.
But they are usually the biggest plays of the game.
I'm not saying they're not. Just like Tim Tebow. Just like Tim Tebow. At the end of the game, he threw what? The overtime touchdown pass to whoever it was against Ike Taylor, right?
I don't know.
He did nothing all game. The playoff game we lost to the Denver Broncos.
Listen, I don't even remember what Tebow did. To be honest with you, I had no problem.
We lost to the Denver Broncos in overtime on the first play. It was a little slant, and Ike Taylor got beat, and so did Troy Polamalu, and they ran it in for a touchdown.
That's football. These guys are athletic, dude. They're going to score points.
Tim Tebow was out of the league after that year, after making these big plays just like TJ Watt. Listen, we're going to get more into it whenever we come back. You guys have been listening to WBBP 99.3 FM and 1230 AM. We'll be right back to One Man's Opinion on Sports.
When you talk about community involvement and safety, the name Fry stands at the forefront in Beaver County. Fry Transportation's mission is to continue to raise the bar as the gold standard in their industry by providing the safest, most reliable, and cost-efficient transportation service in Beaver County through their strong relationships with their communities, best-in-their-class drivers, equipment, and technology. There's nothing more important than the safety of their students, employees, and community members. Fry Transportation, where the quality of their organization is characterized by the makeup of the individual behind the wheel.
Hey, can you imagine trying to hit a fastball or throwing a runner out at home? It's hard to think of doing these things under perfect circumstances, let alone with the distraction and discomfort of dental issues. Regular dental care from Dr. C. Timothy Lip can improve your productivity, happiness, and focus, even if you're not in the big leagues. Dental problems affect more than just your teeth. Visit lipdentistry.com.